As we get closer and closer to the end of 2024, the progress being made at Epic Universe has not slowed down at all. There have been several noticeable changes during this week's flight by BioReconstruct, from several new areas of theming being installed in the Isle of Burk, to Bowser starting to come to life in the Mushroom Kingdom, and lastly, a new statue has been revealed inside of the new wizarding world of Harry Potter. All of this and more on this week's Universal Epic Universe Construction Update with our aerial views provided to us as always by BioReconstruct. Universal just last week released new details about the new on-site resort at Epic Universe, Helios Grand Hotel, offering 7 different varieties of rooms ranging from the standard guest room all the way up to the presidential suite. There is even a family suite themed to How to Train Your Dragon, which is personally my favorite in the entire hotel. Prices have not been released yet, but what I would expect a nightly price would be similar to the ones found at Royal Pacific or Hard Rock, as this is in the signature collection of hotels offered by Universal. During this week's flight, there was not a whole lot to go over for the resort. There were a few minor changes on the roof, with the progress very slow on the main dome installation of the bronze roofing, while the ballroom is nearly complete with just a few sections remaining. At the base of the Helios Grand Hotel sits the Blue Dragon Pan-Asian restaurant, where out front there are a few noticeable changes since last update. The scaffolding that has surrounded the facade of the restaurant has been removed, giving us a detailed look of the front of the location. The cascading water feature in front of the dining location has also been painted a very vibrant blue. On the other side of the main show fountain in Celestial Park sits Meteor Astropub, where exterior brickwork has begun on the south end of the building. Just across the pathway, at Stardust Racers, new landscaping has begun to be planted around the attraction's entrance sign. Several small trees have also been planted along the edge of the coaster closest to Celestial Park. On either side of the entrance tunnel, there have been new themed elements installed, which are still covered in plastic. Behind the coaster building, several areas of the extended queue have been poured as they make their way towards the section of the queue that has been completed for quite some time. Neighboring this thrilling dueling coaster is the central water feature of Celestial Park, where the berm that was created by the placement of the dense foam has begun to be painted green. Overlooking this water feature sits Constellation Carousel, where the ride platform is still fully enclosed inside of the colorful dome. Just outside of the entrance and exit to this attraction, the colorful courtyard has been completed. Looking closer at this courtyard, there appears to be evenly placed holes in some of the details of the design. Could this be for some sort of light display? Or could it be for some sort of medallion to be placed at a later time? The courtyard outside of Constellation Carousel was not the only courtyard with progress in this update. Overlooking the central water feature as well is the kids' splash pad of Astronomica, where, in the center of this area, a compass design similar to the one above the main show fountain has made an appearance. At one of the kiosks at the nearby Oakenstar Tavern, final roofing can be seen starting to be installed on one of the 2 kiosks. If I remember correctly, this is the one of the 2 alleged Starbucks locations inside of Epic Universe. On the opposite corner of Celestial Park sits the Phase 2 dining locations that will open later on after the grand opening of Epic Universe next year. The initial roofing of these 2 locations looks to be just about complete, while workers are staging the next layer of roofing materials over the kitchen of this area. The last dining location inside of Celestial Park is Atlantic Restaurant, where scaffolding has been reinstalled in front of the large glass windows of the dining room that overlook the cascading waterfalls that greet guests from the park entrance. Near Atlantic is the first of the 4 themed lands found inside of Epic Universe, which is Super Nintendo World. Just outside of the entry portal to the land, inside of the entry courtyard, a star concrete form design has been installed in preparation for concrete similar to the courtyards found in front of the other lands around Celestial Park. Inside of the Mushroom Kingdom, there have been several new green pipes installed all around the land. The Goomba at the Goomba rolling activity has been seen on top of the green roller for the first time. Between this activity and Bowser's Fortress, there continues to be a tremendous amount of color being added around this area, update after update. At Bowser's Fortress, Bowser's nose can be seen being lifted into place above the entrance to the Mario Kart ride. Behind the Mushroom Kingdom sits the jungle of Donkey Kong Country, where the portal frame that will separate this mini-land from the Mushroom Kingdom has been installed. The walkways throughout this mini-land are nearly complete, with the exception of the walkways near the portal. Just inside of the land, the exterior of the plane, which is the home of Funky's Fly-n' Buy gift shop, has been completed and is awaiting the awning over the opening of the plane. The exterior of the Bubbly Barrel snack stand has seen its first pieces of barrel installed. On the other side of the pathway, inside of the outdoor queue area for Minecart Madness, several additional canopies have been installed as predicted, with several more still remaining to be installed. Throughout the coaster tracks, there have been a number of areas of landscaping pop up since last time out. These areas of landscaping have given the finished look around the coaster, which we saw around Stardust Racers quite some time ago. Just next door to the Mushroom Kingdom sits the land based off of Universal Monsters, Dark Universe. In the front of the land, before reaching the village of Darkmoor, there appears to be a new direction sign laying on the ground waiting to be installed. Detail work inside of the village continues as painting near the back buildings has been completed. Walkways throughout this entire land have been revealed all the way until they reach the back of the village. In front of Frankenstein's Manor, the courtyard has been fully revealed, showing a dark paving stone look. To the right side of the manor, more trees have been planted to help hide the show building of this feature ride. Scaffolding has risen at the main tower of the manor while work begins on finishing this area. Directly across Celestial Park is the new Wizarding World of Harry Potter Ministry of Magic. Next to the entry portal, the roof of the small kiosk continues to have its metal roofing worked on. Just inside of the streets, to the left, a new awning frame has been built, which will be an outdoor dining area on the sidewalk. A second awning has been constructed on the street between the tent to the entrance of the theater show and the entrance to the British Ministry of Magic. After passing through the replica arch, to the right, inside of a courtyard only accessible by an alley within the land, the scaffolding has been removed in this area for the first time. The architecture inside of the courtyard looks completely different when looking at the rest of the replica streets. It looks very dirty and aged. Also in the courtyard, we can see a celestial design on the facade of one of the buildings. At the intersection of the 5 streets where the queue entrance for the theater show is located, new artwork can be seen on one of the buildings. Moving towards the entrance to the feature ride of the land, new trees have been planted in the sidewalks. At the end of the street, the statue that has been surrounded in scaffolding for several updates has been revealed for the first time. Interestingly enough, just a few days later, this statue was covered up. Near the end of this land, scaffolding has once again been removed all around the building facades. During this flight, the land that takes home the prize of most improved once again goes to How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Burk. Inside of the village at the base of Mead Hall, a number of new dragon houses have been spotted on the rooftops. Also inside of the village is the entrance to Hiccup's Winged Gliders, where another dragon head has been installed above the entrance to match the one above the gift shop. Inside of the queue area for the coaster, there have been a number of small trees planted along the queue's path. Across the land, more walkways are being formed near the Untrainable Dragon Theater Show. Spitfire Grill has not seen a lot of progress as of late. However, this update, 2 new short stone sculptures have been installed inside of the seating area across from the dining location that overlooks Fire Drill. Fire Drill is another attraction that we have constantly seen a huge amount of progress from update to update. This week is no different, where dragon houses have been installed around the entrance to the ride, along with a 2-headed dragon head mounted above a service door near the entrance. Inside of the ride path, 2 new dragons can be seen as targets, along with a familiar face. Toughnut can be seen inside of a barrel boat with a water cannon pointed towards the ride path to fire back at guests. Another attraction inside of the land that has seen physical progress as well in the form of queue construction. Dragon Racers Rally has had several additional steel beams installed for the queue covering. Next door, at the children's play area of Viking Training Camp, several new structures, along with the existing ones, have seen a tremendous amount of steel added this update. In such a short time, this area has gotten very busy, and in a flight just a few days after this original update, we can see a yellow and red canopy top stretched over one of the structures. Now that the details have been released for the Helios Grand Hotel, along with every land of the park, we are one announcement closer to the release of the estimated opening of this new, highly anticipated theme park in Orlando, Florida. If you enjoyed this update, be sure to leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe so you do not miss the next Universal Epic Universe construction update. A big thanks to BioReconstruct for the continued views of this new park. And until next time, travelers, have a great one.